Oh, hey, do you want to buy a house but have no credit history? Keep watching. Hey, Susan Thetford here. By the end of this video, you're going to know how you can set yourself up to buy a home, even if you have absolutely no established credit. I am Susan Thetford. I'm a 36-year career realtor here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Worked with buyers and sellers my entire life. And establishing credit and having credit and helping people get approved for a mortgage that's the right one for them has been my business forever. So we're going to talk about that right this minute. How does someone get credit or get established for credit? Or do you even need it? Why do banks want it? The lenders simply want to see, are you a good risk? Are you a good place for them to say, yep, take my money and pay me back over a 30-year period of time? They want to see that you're a good risk, and that credit history is their proof of that. So maybe you're like me and so many people around the country, actually the world now, who are big Dave Ramsey fans. Hey, quick aside, Dave and I were finance partners in a class at UT Knoxville. He and I both graduated from UT Knoxville back in the go-go days when borrowing other people's money and being leveraged to the hilt was what we were taught to do. And he is now flying high and teaching people how to live their life without using credit. And that's brilliant, except for when you're trying to buy a home. Because as I just finished saying, the banks want to see, if I'm giving you $200,000 and I'm going to let you pay me back over a 30-year period, I want to see that you're good for your word. So having no credit history means that the typical lenders are not going to lend you the money. So what does that mean? Are you just up a creek and you can't buy a house? No. Here are 3 different solutions for you. And one of these will work for you. Number 1, there are lenders who will lend to people who have no established credit. There are lenders, very few and far between. Find yourself a reputable realtor who can direct you in the right direction of the lender who does this type of work. You will not find an e-lender who does this. Don't do it. Please don't do it. But there are lenders who do that. Here's the caveat. The rates are typically quite a bit higher than the typical rates that you would find if you already do have a good credit history. Those rates will be different. The points may be higher. You can do it though. So it just takes finding a lender who basically portfolios it. You may well find, and it's tough right now because the market is so good, but you may well find somebody who is willing to own or finance it. Get an attorney to write up those terms clearly so you know what you're doing. But you may well find someone who will own or finance for you. But those are 2 options if you have 0 credit. Another option, if you have absolutely no established credit already, is maybe you're one of the fortunate few who have a parent or an aunt or an uncle or someone who will co-sign that loan for you. You don't have the credit, but if they've got a good credit history, a good credit score, and they can hold the debt service, then if you find someone like that who is willing to co-sign with you, then you're golden. You can establish your credit through that period of time, but you paying the payments, and you will establish that credit. But this is a good way of getting it started if you have that kind of benefactor. So here is the most likely way to be able to buy a home. And it's not too early to start establishing credit. If you want to buy a home within the next 6 months to a year, now is the time to get started. And the only way to do that, if number 1 and number 2 doesn't work, is start establishing your own credit. Now, I'm sorry, Dave isn't going to be happy, but unless you can save 100% of the money that you need to buy this home within a year's period of time, then you're going to have to establish some credit if the first 2 don't work. So here's how you can do it. You need to take out a credit card and use it. Simple, right? That's going to say, I can borrow money from you. I will pay it back as I promised. I will pay it back on time. But there's a little bit more of a tweak to this. The way to get perfect credit is never to use more than 30% of the amount that you can use. So let's say you have a $1,000 credit card that you take out with Nordstrom. You use that card. They don't want to see it sitting idle either. That hasn't proved that you have the ability to pay things back. They want to see you use it, but they also don't want to see you get it up to the max if you're wanting this perfect credit. So it's a $1,000 credit card, maybe with, as I say, Nordstrom. You spend about $300 a month. You pay it back in full. You don't let it carry over. You don't pay minimum payments. You pay the bill in full. Over 6 months to a year's time, that's going to help you establish that credit. You do it twice, maybe with the American Express, and you have your business bills, or if you're self-employed, you put some of your business expenses, maybe your entertainment expenses, whatever. Pay your grocery bills with that. $1,000 limit, $300 a month you use, $300 a month you pay back in full, and you will establish your credit in no time. So those are the only 3 ways really to get a home without credit. Finding a co-signer benefactor, taking a little bit higher rate, maybe higher points, with a lender who will basically portfolio loans, doesn't sell it on the secondary market, and they will lend to those who have no credit history, or establish your own credit over a period of the next 6 months to a year. My first suggestion is find yourself a reputable lender who will help you walk through this. I will give you something else. Don't go buy a car. Do not go buy a car. Do not go buy a depreciating asset before you buy a house. And that's a whole other argument of things to not do when you're in the buying home process. Things to not do, or you're surely to screw up your home purchase. I'll put that in the cards as well. That's a good video. But those are helpful. Begin your credit. You've done a great job. If you're a Dave Ramsey fan, you've done a phenomenal job. You know how to save. You know how to stay in a budget. You've got this aced. Now you have to prove that to a lender, and you'll be golden. Hey, if this is the kind of information that you love, all things about real estate, Nashville, the people, places, and things that make us be the it city today, please, I ask you, subscribe to my channel. A new video comes out every single Thursday. I'd hate for you to miss a thing. Hit that bell too. You'll be notified when I drop the video. I look forward to seeing you soon, and tell me, how did you begin building your own credit? Okay, time for me to get going again, but let's stay connected. Find me on Facebook. I would love to get to know you on a personal level, not just once a week here on YouTube, but be sure to subscribe to my channel. Don't miss a thing.